whatever, it doesn't matter. But we're going to have the two fingers. We're bowling what we call medium pace, if you like, anything other than spin. Our fingers are got to, I'm right left-handed, but fingers are going to go down either side of the seam. The thumb goes directly underneath, and all the other fingers are off the ball. So if I can have a quick look, it's so important. Where's it? You'll probably find you get a little bit of control, you might have to go back a bit. Yeah, get rid of those altogether, get those closer, and that goes directly underneath. Sweet. Yep. So we're going directly down the seam. Yep. Yep. Got the small ball of the pack with the biggest hand. Right. Yep. Okay, that's fantastic. All right, so that's our standard grip for a medium pace bowler. We're going to do a little bit of a run up here in a minute, but I want to give you the grip for a spin bowler. Now the spin bowler is around the seam, and this finger here, it'll hurt in here probably, this finger here does all the work. You're going to spin over the top of the ball.
Does your thumb just rest?
Okay, so yeah, in a moment. So this is an orthodox spin bowler, and a lot of people will bowl this, feel this is the natural thing to do, which is a leg spin bowler.
Is that Warnie?
Yeah, that's a leg spin bowler. So, if we can have a look at that grip, we have it in those two fingers, and for the leg spinner, it's much the same, but all three fingers are on the ball.
Can you give me a close-up of that?
Sure.
So that's
Orthodox spin,
Yep.
leg spin grip. So there's now three fingers on,
Oh, yeah.
whereas this has only got two fingers.
Perfect.
So when I release it, so I'll come down over here and then on DM.
Yes. The ideal is for the seam to land on the 45. If it lands on the 45, then you're going to get the maximum amount of turn. If it lands that way, it's called a top spinner. It's going to bounce and turn. If it lands like that, it's a flying saucer and it won't do anything. Okay? So, let's have a look at that spin grip.
Aim for the creek.
Yeah. About 10 metres apart. Just catch and throw it, bowl to each other. All I want you to do is have a real nice straight seam. If you've got a nice straight seam, then that means it's coming out correctly. If it's all wobbly, then it's not going to do much. So something will be going. So think of that wrist. So when you're bowling pace, the fingers come down behind the ball. Imagine that those two fingers on the ball are coming down behind it. And then we want you to do a bit of spin. Same thing. You're just going to go there, stand there, not do it, no run up at the stage, and just try some spinning. And you might need it to land to see if it works, and then try the other one out of the back of the hand.
So if you're right-handed, planting left, obviously.
Yep.
You do much with the arms not holding the ball?
Front arm is very important. Well, maybe we go there first. All right. So what I want you to do is to be side on when we set up to your partner, and you're going to have the ball under your chin. And if I can show you on here, if you're teaching kids, this is brilliant. I only learned this a couple of years ago against the fence. So you got the ball here, like an apple. You drop your hands down. You're not allowed to touch the net. You go around. Front arm goes up. This arm comes around, and as you come through, you'll step. So I'm going to go bang. My foot goes out. I'm doing it left-handed again, so it's not ideal for you guys. But there, through, and I come through. Most important that I step through. So I'll try right-handed. I got the apple. I drop my hand down. My front arm goes up. As it comes over, I'm stepping through and down the line. This is really good for people because a lot of people, when you teach them to bowl, will come in and do this. Or do this, obviously, chuck it. As perhaps if you guys haven't done it before, we'll probably do it. So getting up against the fence is a really, really good tool. Okay, so we've come here for the purpose of that exercise. We're about 15 metres apart. We're just going to step over, through and down. If you want to try against the fence to start with, that's fine, or else just buddy up and, you know, from 8 or 9 paces apart we can bowl to each other. You know, we can coach them to do this, that and everything else, but a lot of it's going to be natural. And the thing is, if we had something, I don't know whether you guys know the guy Malinga, who's got the most amazing, the most amazing, if he was in New Zealand we probably would have coached it out of him. You know, seriously, we were so bloody wound up in this technical stuff. Whereas if we find someone, or you guys find someone who's just natural, and he can land it down there and is consistent doing it, hey, who are we to argue with what he's doing? You know, as long as he's not injuring himself with a bad action, then we just encourage him to bowl more and be better at what he's doing. I just want to touch on the run-up. The run-up, you can do a lot of the times for a medium pace. A lot of kids just start off too long. I think you can start off with a nice close. If you want to do a little exercise, you close your eyes, run back, and it'll be natural where you release. Even if we tried it now, we haven't got enough time, but if we tried it now, just running back from the line there until it's natural to release the ball, you mark it, you do it 3 times, and that will become your run-up. So it's a really simple way of doing it, rather than having all these Mickey Mouse run-ups that some of these kids have. So, and then the other thing,
from
start from
here.
here.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just run back with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Do it 2 or 3 times. Put a cone down each time, and you'll find that the body tells you when to release, and they're usually really consistent. The other thing, the biggest issue is with is running not in a straight line. So the cones become really important. So get them to basically run in, you know, you might dot the cones down here, but when they come through, it's so important that the momentum goes to the batsman. All right. The big issue we find, and particularly with nets like this, all the right armers will come in and bowl, and they're off here into the side net straight away. They're then trying to push the ball into the right place. So talk about momentum, everything going towards the target, and then they run off the pitch. Bowling can be quite technical, but if we could just cover off some of those things, using this fence, using targets, old pieces of carpet I use a lot, just put them on the pitch there where roughly the area you want them to bowl, and make sure they're running straight and following through straight.